We went out driving and checked a couple of fields on private that public butts up to that we've seen turkeys in periodically. We saw some hens out there the other day, and we saw a big old lone longbeard out in the field. It goes straight to public. Nobody here so far.
Probably about 3:40 when we saw him, 3:58.
It's been about 18 minutes since we saw him, and he was in the field. He was moving to the woods. There's a big power line between us and him that we're trying to get across before he gets to it. We found his tracks in it the other day, so we're hoping he's not in too much of a hurry to get to that. You know, we found that dust bowl out there too. He might be headed right there right now.
We could probably just, it might be easier than we're making it.
Anyway, that's what's going on.
I'm not gonna be able to. Almost feel like I want to be able to see that cut.
Go scout it out. Take the camera with you.
Well, it drops off pretty good. Well, Nathan and I got set up on the same tree. We were gonna try to work around and get down the power line more than where we thought he was gonna go, but a guy's pulled his truck in down there and has it parked right in the middle of everything, so. What? Interview. We're gonna call off this bird that we saw crossing this field. Got a rope on him. You think you should get on a different tree? I hate hunting in the wind. Deer. You're just turkey.
Just to give a little update, I've got my GoPro strapped to my gun, and Bryson's gonna go back to the truck, drive back around and check those fields. And we did a bunch of calling in here, so I'm gonna stay back just in case he comes in. But Bryson's gonna go check the fields again, see if he's still out there. It looked like he was gonna come into the woods. But we got excited and we kind of left in a hurry to try to get around on him, and we really don't know what he did. I don't know. I'm just gonna hang tight, and I might sneak down in there a little farther. The guy that parked down in there is gone now. Alright, I snuck up to this little opening, this kind of saddle type spot. We were just calling like 60 yards up on the hill behind me, but this is extremely open. And I wanted to watch it for a minute before I crossed it. I don't think I'm gonna call from right here just yet. Just wanna kinda hear from Bryson first and see what he finds out, checking those fields again. It's real open. don't know how much of that you'll see on the GoPro, but got him. Me and Bryson were just calling from that ridge up there. We got the power line behind us, and the private field they were in is way down there, about 300 yards. And we called and called and called, and we didn't get, I guess we weren't patient enough. Because now the woods are settling down, the wind's been blowing 40 miles an hour. So he left to go get in a truck to go check the field. I stayed back. Well, I didn't want to stay up there. I should have, probably. But I hit this little drainage cut and come down right there. And there's a saddle right here. And I was standing right there. They worked their way up this side. I seen the hen coming right to me. And then I seen him coming down the hill. And I seen that big old paintbrush rope beard he's got. It's definitely the one we saw in the field. Thick rope on him. Good hooks on him. He was strutting, and I don't know how much you'll see on that GoPro, but man, that's fun. Bryson's about to come to me.
Nate got him. We hunted that bird for about an hour, and I decided to pull back out and see if I could go spot him in the fields again. And I ain't gone probably 25 minutes, and he shot him. He ended up coming into where we were calling him. Stop right here, Shell.
I stopped right here and was just on the phone with you, just chilling. And I heard something to my left, and I looked. Come get me right here. So I just want you to see.
Yeah.
Right through there, about 70 yards, the hen was moving up the hillside.
Oh my gosh, they were going right to her.
And then she immediately got up there, and she turned and cut and came right down here in this bowl, right down here. I was like,
on the
okay.
other side of these briars?
Yeah, and she was down in there scratching. I could see her scratching all down in the briars. And she was working her way up. They were fixing to be right here on the bench with me. I looked up in that same gap you see right there.
Yeah.
And when I was on the phone with you, thought I got off the phone, and then I was like, I gotta go. I see the longbeard. I could see his rope. He was coming straight at me down the hillside from the top. He was on the top, and he was coming down right there, right toward me.
They went right to us.
Right to the column. And see that little broken stick right here in front of us that's leaning like this?
Mm-hmm.
All the briars behind it?
Yeah.
He was just on the other side of that, strutting for about 3 minutes. And he kept popping his head up and looking, and he'd go back strutting. And I'm just leaning against the tree like this.
You're leaning just like that,
just
not
like this.
behind it.
Nope. Just like this on the side, holding my gun, not sitting down. All I had was the GoPro going, I think. But he kept sticking his head over the top, and I kept thinking about forcing it, but all those vines. And then he got down, and I was like, crap, they're gonna get in the bowl, and then they're gonna go away. And he was just drumming and drumming. And then he came back up, and he'd get almost to the opening where I was talking about when I first saw him. And he'd go back down, and he'd get almost back up, and he'd put his butt to me, and he'd face me. He'd put his butt to me, and he'd face me.
Full strut.
And then finally, I think that I could hear the hen right here, and I think she was working around this thicket, so I think he was gonna work around it this way, right in my lap.
Oh my gosh.
He could see something with me, because when he got his head in that opening right there, I called at him, but I didn't have to. He immediately stuck his head up, and I shot him. And I saw nothing.
So you shot him at 25, 30 steps?
I saw feathers poof, and I was like, I didn't know. So I just ran over there, and he's just laying there stone cold dead. I could see the rope coming down the hill, dude.
I'm so glad we got
It's him! Tell me that ain't him. Look at
oh my gosh. Look at the spurs, dude. What a rope.
He's a hoss, man.
Yeah. Look right down in there on that flat and just hunt.
I got to see this a lot right before he died.
Dang, that's gonna be a good picture. Do you want to say anything?
Thank you, Lord, and thank you, Bryson, for your little wanting to go check these out.
We always team it up on them, man.
If we'd have stayed here 20 more minutes, they'd have just come into our setup right down your gun barrel. Because we'd have kept calling, and they would have just...
Well, I only gave him 5 more minutes, so I need to give him 25 more minutes. So...
Now let's take a couple pictures and go hunt. Oh my God.